You know, as the years pass, I've come to realize that the body doesn't whisper anymore. It speaks. And if we don't pause long enough to listen, those small signals eventually become louder than we'd like. When I turned 60, I started noticing things I used to brush off. Aches that stayed a little longer, skin that didn't bounce back the way it used to, and a kind of deep fatigue that felt different from just being tired. Maybe you felt that too. That quiet shift that makes you wonder, when did my body start aging faster than my spirit? I want you to imagine this with me for a moment. You're standing in front of a mirror, the same mirror you've looked into for decades. But suddenly, the reflection feels unfamiliar. Not worse, not broken, just different, slower, softer. And you start asking the questions we all eventually ask. Am I doing enough to take care of myself? Am I giving my body what it needs to keep going strong? One of my patients, Linda, 67 years old, told me something that stayed with me. She said, "Doctor, aging doesn't scare me. What scares me is feeling like I'm disappearing from my own life." That hit me hard, because she wasn't talking about wrinkles or gray hair. She was talking about losing strength, losing energy, losing her ability to move the way she used to. She was talking about the slow fading of the body she had depended on her whole life. And this is why I wanted to talk to you today, because there is something we can do, something practical, something natural, something within your reach. It's surprising how often people think collagen is just a beauty trend, something for skin creams or cosmetic shelves. But the truth is deeper, much deeper. Collagen is the scaffolding of your entire body. It holds you together. Your skin, your joints, your bones, even your muscles. They all rely on this one powerful protein. And as we age, we don't lose collagen all at once. It's more like watching a photograph fade slowly over time. Year by year, the structure weakens, the glow softens, the strength quietly slips away, until one day you realize walking up the stairs feels different. Getting out of bed takes a little more effort. Recovering from small movements takes longer than it should. You might ask yourself, is that just aging? Well, not exactly. It's also collagen loss. And the beautiful thing is, once you understand it, you can do something about it. In my practice, I've seen patients transform simply by learning how to support their bodies more intentionally, by choosing foods rich in real collagen, by understanding how this protein works, and by giving themselves the nourishment their bones and muscles have been begging for. So today, I want to invite you to slow down, just for a moment. Let's take a breath together. Let's look at your body not as something that's slowing down, but as something that is asking, gently, quietly, for better care. Because aging is not the end. It's simply a new conversation between you and your body. And if you're willing to listen, willing to learn, and willing to give your body what it truly needs, you might be surprised by how strong you can still become. Are you ready? Let's talk about collagen, what it really is, how it truly works, and why it just might change the way you age from this moment forward. You know, the more years I spend studying the human body, the more I'm humbled by how beautifully complex it really is. Collagen isn't just something you take. It's something your body creates with incredible precision if you give it the right tools. I often tell my patients, collagen is a building project, and every building needs workers, raw materials, and the right conditions. Without that, nothing gets built. Let me start with something most people overlook. Your body cannot produce collagen without certain cofactors. Vitamin C, zinc, copper, sulfur, these are not optional. They're essential. I had a patient named Harold, 72 years old, who told me, "Doc, I've been taking collagen for years, but nothing changes." And when we looked at his diet, he barely had any vitamin C. His body simply didn't have the spark it needed to turn those amino acids into actual collagen. The moment he added citrus, bell peppers, a little seafood for zinc, things started shifting. Your body is incredibly capable if you support it the right way. And here's something people often misunderstand. Collagen isn't just for your skin. It's the foundation of your bones, your muscles, your joints, even the lining of your gut. I want you to imagine the frame of a house. You don't see it, but without it, everything collapses. That's collagen. If your knees ache, if your back feels stiff, if digestion feels fragile, those are often whispers of weakened collagen structures long before the problem becomes obvious. Something magical also happens at night, during deep sleep. That's when your body goes into repair mode. Between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., your collagen factories are the most active. But if you're tossing and turning, or scrolling on your phone in bed, or waking up 3-4 times a night, your body simply doesn't get the chance to rebuild. Sometimes the most powerful collagen booster isn't a supplement. It's a good night's sleep. And let me clear up a big myth. Your body does not absorb collagen in its original form. You're not swallowing collagen and sending it straight to your skin or joints. Your stomach breaks it apart into amino acids, and then your body decides whether to use those for collagen, muscles, hormones, or even energy. That's why your lifestyle matters just as much as what you take. You can't out-supplement a stressful, inflammatory, or nutrient-poor lifestyle. Now, one of the strongest collagen stimulators isn't in a bottle. It's strength training. When you apply controlled tension to your tendons and muscles, your body responds by laying down new collagen fibers to reinforce those tissues. I've seen 65-year-olds regain strength and move like they're 40 again, simply by adding light strength work 2 or 3 times a week. Not heavy lifting, not extreme workouts, just consistent resistance. The body comes alive when you ask it to grow. Of course, the food you eat plays a huge role. Real collagen doesn't come from powders. It comes from real food. Bone broth, chicken skin, sardines with the bones, beef connective tissue. These foods nourish your body in a way modern diets rarely do. My grandmother used to simmer bone broth every Sunday, and back then I thought it was just comfort food. Now I realize she was feeding us medicine without saying a word. But while you're building collagen, you also have to protect it, and the enemies are powerful. Sugar, refined carbs, alcohol, smoking, UV damage, chronic inflammation. These things don't just slow aging, they tear collagen apart. I sometimes show my patients a simple comparison. Collagen fibers under a microscope before and after sugar exposure. Before, beautiful, organized strands. After, twisted, brittle, broken. Keeping your blood sugar stable isn't just about diabetes. It's the #1 way to protect your collagen for the long run. There are also some quiet heroes in nature, spirulina and chlorella. These algae help strengthen pro-collagen, the stage before collagen becomes mature, and they shield existing collagen from oxidative damage. I often recommend them to patients who struggle with inflammation or slow healing. They're gentle but incredibly effective. And yes, collagen production does decline after 40, 50, 60. But here's the part I want you to hear clearly. Most of that decline comes from lifestyle, not from aging itself. You have far more influence than you think. I've seen 70-year-olds turn their collagen engine back on with small, consistent habits. Aging is not a shutdown, it's simply a recalibration. Omega-3s, especially from sardines, are another secret weapon. They lower inflammation, and when inflammation goes down, the destruction of collagen slows dramatically. It's like turning off the fire before rebuilding the house. Even gentle daily movement helps. Stretching, fascia release, slow, mindful breathing. These are signals. They tell your body, hey, this area is being used. Strengthen it, repair it. The body responds to attention. And finally, stress. Chronic cortisol is one of the most aggressive collagen destroyers we know. Meditation, slow walks, breathing exercises. These aren't extra, they're protective. They're medicine. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your collagen is to sit quietly for 5 minutes and let your nervous system settle. So when people ask me, "Doctor, how do I rebuild my collagen?" I smile because the answer is simple and yet beautifully holistic. Nourish your body, move your body, rest your body, and protect it from the things that tear it down. Collagen isn't a product. It's a reflection of how kindly you treat yourself. There's one thing I truly want you to take away from all of this. Aging isn't a defeat. It's simply a reminder that this body has carried you through decades of life, and now it just needs a little more kindness, a little more patience, a little more understanding from you. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Maybe today you add a little more vitamin C. Tomorrow you try 10 minutes of light strength work. Next week you go to bed a bit earlier. These small actions, over time, become the quiet miracles of growing older with grace. I've watched so many of my patients move into their 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, stronger, more flexible, more alive than when they first started their journey. Not because they found a magic supplement or some fountain of youth, but because they learned to listen to their bodies and treat them with respect. And you can do the same. Remember this, collagen isn't just about smoother skin or healthier joints. It's about resilience, about choosing to keep living fully, keep moving, keep cherishing the moments life still has for you. And if there's only one message that stays with you after today, I hope it's this. Your body is still capable of healing, still capable of growing stronger, still capable of becoming younger in your own way. If what I shared today helped you, inspired you, or simply made you think a little differently about your health, I would be grateful if you left a like, a share, or a comment below. These small things help me know you're here with me, and they also help someone out there find the information they may desperately need. And if you'd like to continue this journey with me, to keep learning how to live stronger, longer, and healthier, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I have so much more to share, and I'll be right here every week with new insights and guidance for you. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this video. Take care of yourself. Honor the body you're living in. And as I always tell my patients, every day you wake up is another opportunity to begin again. I'll see you in the next video.